Good evening. Newsplus begins right now on ZTN Prime, Channel 294 on DSTV. With me, Wazanai Sansoli. And these are your headlines tonight. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has emphasized the government's commitment to transforming the country's education sector to meet the ever-changing technological advancements. Newsplus has more on this message at the children's party held in Gokwe ahead of tomorrow's independence celebrations. Stay tuned to Newsplus as we shall give you details on a widely used medication for high blood pressure and heart failure, which has been recalled by the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe. We shall also look at efforts by authorities and other stakeholders in the public transport sector to curb road traffic accidents, particularly during holidays when volume of traffic on the country's roads increases. And in football, four-time Premier Soccer League champions FC Platinum will seek to collect their first silverware for the season on Friday as they take on Simbabora FC in the prestigious Uhuru Cup. And now for our stories in greater detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has emphasized the government's commitment to transforming the country's education sector to meet the ever-changing technological advancements. President Mnangagwa said resources will be availed to promote internet connectivity in schools countrywide. He was speaking at the children's party at Nyamuroro High School in Gokwe, Nembuzia today, where he also commissioned a computer lab. The event was a precursor to the country's 45th independence celebration to be hosted in the same area tomorrow. And our reporter Tanyara Zwakutara is in Gokwe. This Thursday, children drawn from the country's 10 provinces converged at Nyamuroro High School in Nembuzia, Gokwe for a special party on the eve of the country's 45th independence anniversary. It was an electric and rare occasion for the children who experienced a first-hand interaction with President Emmerson Mnangagwa and the First Lady. The traditional party is meant to inculcate values of liberation among children. In his address, President Mnangagwa emphasized the government's commitment to initiate policies aimed at promoting the rights of children in education.
My government has put in place the required changes for our children to acquire scientific, innovative educational and technical skills that empower them to develop enterprises and contribute to the nation's socio-economic transformation and growth.
The president also highlighted the need to spearhead digital revolution in schools, with Gokwe becoming the latest beneficiary. This was after the commissioning of a state-of-the-art computer laboratory at Nyamuroro High School, an initiative that has been spread across Gokwe districts.
My administration is prioritizing an e-teaching and e-learning policy within our schools to make sure that this runs smoothly. Electricity, internet connectivity, and related ICT equipment to schools, including those in marginalized communities, is being provided.
Children commended the government for taking a leading role in enhancing the learning environment.
Tagadzirirwa migwagwa nezvikoro zvedu zviri kugadzirwawo, mvura angova machakwi, magadheni takaisika zvese kuitirwa nemukuru wedu wenyika. Ndiri kufara nekuti takaisirwa macomputers, takagadzirwa maklasi nenzira zvese, mvura yangova machakwi nemagadheni.
Among the initiatives to enhance education is the recently introduced heritage-based curriculum, which learners believe is poised to produce innovators and analytical thinkers key for national development.
For this year's theme is saying devolve and development towards Vision 2030. We are proud that His Excellency Mnangagwa Emerson, he just introduced the heritage-based curriculum. So with this, we just want to thank him.
The interaction comes as the president has been preaching a need for young people to safeguard themselves against drug and substance abuse and early marriages. Meanwhile, all is set for the country's 45th independence celebration to be held at Mutora Open Grounds, Nembudzia Growth Point in Gokwe. We now cross over to our correspondent, George Msumba, who is in Gokwe, to give us an update. Good evening, George. Let's start with President Mnangagwa's engagement with children at the annual Children's Party earlier today. What were the key takeaways?
Thank you very much. As you can see behind me and everywhere, Gokwe Nembudzia is bustling with activity. But from the day's activities in the afternoon, when the president presented his speech to the children, the most important thing that came out of that speech was the emphasis on quality education. The president emphasized it in so many aspects in terms of ICT, e-learning, saying that children must have access to e-learning at all spheres of life in their school life, so that there's no one who's left behind. This is probably seen by the rollout of ICT labs in various schools, and at the particular school where the event took place, there was a rollout of ICT equipment for the students so that no one is left behind. The goal for the president and for the nation is that we achieve SDG 4, Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is quality education. And this was emphasized throughout his speech, and he also talked about quality education which leads into industry, saying that the education must speak to industry, in that the quality of students that are coming out of our schools must be able to be absorbed into the new economy, into the 21st economy. So this, for me, was the major takeaway. He also talked about the drug menace issue and also cyberbullying.
So, George, now that all the focus is shifting to tomorrow's main celebrations, from your assessment, what is the mood like in Gokwe? What are the main expectations?
There is palpable excitement. This is the first time that the Midlands has hosted the independence celebrations, and it's more so in a rural setup like Gokwe Nembudzia. The people are excited. Of course, you can talk about the football matches. Today there was the women's soccer match, and tomorrow there will be another soccer match. And this brings the big giants of soccer closer to the people. That is one of the exciting things that the people were talking about. But apart from that, it's the drills and the message that is going to come out of the independence celebrations tomorrow as the president delivers his independence message. Of course, remembering where we have come from as a nation, 45 years, and here we are at Gokwe Nembudzia talking about another phase in our lifetime where no one is left behind. People must celebrate independence together, and this is the message that has been coming out, and the people here have embraced the event, saying it is time that they are also included in the development of the nation, and it is not about Harare.
Thank you and good night to you. That was George Msumba. He was just painting a picture of what the atmosphere is like in Gokwe at the moment. Now, every year, traffic safety campaigns are launched ahead of holiday celebrations, yet accident rates remain high during holidays. And despite authorities' efforts to educate people on road rules, adherence, and best practices, the question remains, are these measures good enough?
Holiday accident statistics fluctuate year to year, with factors like increased travel significantly contributing to this trend. On Monday, during the safety campaign launch in Glendale, Home Affairs Minister Kazembe revealed grim statistics of the yesteryears. According to the minister, the numbers for 2023 to 2024 don't show much of a difference. However, the rise in road traffic accidents during holidays, including Easter and Independence, remain a cause for concern.
288 accidents occurred, with 29 people killed, whilst 145 were injured due to road traffic accidents, whereas 286 accidents, only 2 less than the previous year, were recorded during 2024 similar period.
Easter is a time when many travel to various destinations to celebrate the death and resurrection of their Messiah, as well as spending time with their loved ones. This year, Zimbabwe's Easter travel boom is met with Independence Day celebrations, and projections are that there will be surge in traffic. Rev Luke Chikwana of the Anglican Church has encouraged pilgrims to use safe modes of transport during this period.
If you are traveling, you should use registered vehicles that are roadworthy. If you are hiring buses, it's best to make sure that you are getting your buses from registered transport operators. And if you are churches and have mission schools with buses, it's better to use your own buses from your mission.
Despite government's best efforts to tame these carnages, one might ask what really needs to be done to tackle this issue and find lasting solutions.
I think that one is an association. We've tried our level best. We've made speed monitoring into a digital form. We are now enforcing digitally, where at the end of every day we have the total speeds and all the vehicles which have been speeding the whole day. So considering we are now entering the holidays, which our roads are highly trafficked, we are manning those control rooms.
The fight to tame road accidents continues, and the hope is that as we celebrate our holidays, we do it without regrets and tears of sorrow. For ZTM Prime, I am Sitachisiwe Gwaza.
We have our reporter Faith Nyaude on standby for further insight on Easter holiday accident statistics. Faith, over to you.
Oh, hello, good evening to you. Now, here are the Easter holiday road traffic accident statistics from the year 2020 up until 2024. We started off now in 2020, where we did record 178 accidents, resulting in 26 deaths and 149 injuries. A total of 401 accidents were recorded in 2021, and these also included 117 injuries and 24 fatalities. There you will realize a slight decrease in terms of the fatalities that were recorded. The highest number of fatalities occurred in 2022 with 73 deaths and 202 rather injuries from 264 accidents. In 2023, 30 fatalities were recorded with 153 injuries reported from 288 accidents. Last year, which is 2024, there were 27 deaths and 159 injuries from 286 accidents. Most Easter-related accidents that are in Zimbabwe or that have occurred in Zimbabwe during this period have been attributed to a number of factors, some of them listed right here. These include drinking and driving, speeding, dangerous overtaking, driving under the influence of alcohol, reckless driving, poor lane discipline, mobile phone usage, overloading, as well as the poor condition of vehicles such as worn and defective tires among other reasons. These are not all, but these are some of the reasons that have been attributed to some of these accidents. Now, we are encouraging people to stay safe on the roads this Easter holiday and make sure you are not drinking and driving. Stay safe, drive yourself, drive your car, drive the car behind you, as everyone on the road does really matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faith. That's a much needed reminder to always stay safe over the holidays. Now we take a look at the health sector. The Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, MCAS, has recalled with immediate effect a batch of Torrent Captopril 25 milligram tablets, batch B520K001, which was manufactured by Torrent Pharmaceuticals Limited in India. Now, this is widely used medication for high blood pressure and heart failure due to a detected quality defect that could compromise its safety and effectiveness. Kaiyo added that MCAS is working closely with Torrent Pharmaceuticals Limited and its local distributors to ensure the effective recall of the affected batch from the market, while the authority remains committed to ensuring the safety, quality, and efficacy of all medicines available in Zimbabwe.
The Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, MCAZ, wishes to inform the public and all stakeholders of a Class 2 recall up to the retail level for Torrent Captopril 25 milligram tablets, batch number B520K001, manufactured by Torrent Pharmaceuticals of India. The authority is calling on all licensed pharmaceutical wholesalers, pharmacies, public and private clinics and hospitals to quarantine and discontinue the distribution of the affected batch immediately. Members of the public in possession of this product batch to return it to the pharmacy from which it was purchased or to the authority.
When Newsplus returns, we'll give you an update on what's expected concerning the winter crop.
Marondera Municipality, originally known as Marondera's Municipality, is located in Mashonaland East in Zimbabwe, approximately 72 kilometers east of the capital Harare, on the Harare-Mutare Highway. It is a bustling town of activity with an urban population in excess of 66,000 people, according to the last population census. It is well known for being home to the prestigious Peterhouse and Rosawi schools, Proton Bakeries, Sari Group, Marondera University of Agricultural Science and Technology, and more. As we participate in this year's edition of ZITF, emphasizing on our theme, Transforming Marondera's Municipal Economic Landscape through Enhanced Industrialization and Trade, the municipality of Marondera is building a new city within the Hunyani Timberlands, and thus invites all potential investors to come and be part of the transformative journey of establishing a new city in Marondera, in line with our vision of achieving a vibrant smart city of service excellence by 2030. Some of the investment initiatives available in Marondera include a golf course, which is an 81-hectare piece of land situated just 4 kilometers from Marondera CBD. The golf course offers an opportunity to invest in a high-value residential estate within the golf course, which overlooks a dam, thus also offering boat cruises, canoeing and fishing activities. The town is also offering 8 hectares of land for hotel conferencing facilities on a strategic location along the Harare-Mutare Highway, 1.5 kilometers from Marondera CBD. The proposed site is located at the source of Rosawi River, thereby giving an opportunity to blend the built environment with the natural. In addition, the municipality of Marondera also quotes investors for water treatment plant expansion and water treatment plant solar at Longlands Waterworks, with the project cost estimated at $18 million. The project can either be a public-private partnership, joint venture, or build-operate-transfer arrangement. The scope of the project is to increase capacity from the current 13.5 megaliters to more than double 30 megaliters. Other areas of investment in Marondera municipality include solid waste and water waste management, urban renewal, regeneration and transformation, housing and high-rise flats, construction and upgrading of sporting facilities, construction of an industrial park, commercialization of Council Kettle project, and many more. Come invest in Marondera, and together let us become a vibrant smart city of service excellence by 2030.
Stuck on you. Ooh, obsessed with you. I'm obsessed.
With Showmax, your favorite characters now follow you anywhere. Download it today and watch the best in local, international, and everything in between.
Welcome back. You are still watching Newsplus, and we're broadcasting to you live from Harare. Now, we are aware that most of you are already in holiday mode, so thank you for staying tuned. And moving on to our next story, planting of winter wheat in the country starts in earnest on the 1st of May. And in light of this, the government says it has started the distribution of inputs to farmers and ring-fencing water and power that's needed for the season. Now, expectations are high for a good harvest following the successful harvest experienced last season. Earlier today, Faith Nyaude spoke to the relevant authorities.
With less than 2 weeks remaining before the start of the planting of the winter wheat crop, the government says it has already distributed over 10,000 tons in inputs to the various provinces, with more expected to be distributed in the coming weeks. This early distribution will ensure early planting and possibly a good harvest, according to authorities.
So we are targeting an early planting season so that we maximize on the yields. We are also tracking, as we ordinarily do, 21 enablers for winter wheat protection. And these include power availability, it includes water availability, of which we have done this year.
The hectarage is also expected to increase on the back of some good rainfall, considering that the country was coming from a drought. About 140,000 hectares will be put under irrigation this winter season.
We are looking at a much better winter production this time around on the background of abundance water. Last year, if you remember, there was the El Nino-induced drought. So really, last year was an emotional response to drought. Hence, we really went out there with very little water resources.
The Zimbabwe Farmers Union says they're coming on board of key stakeholders, ZETDC and ZINWA included, will give the farmers the insurance they need going into the season.
Talking with the service providers to ensure that they guarantee us that we are going to get enough electricity as well also as enough water in the case of ZINWA.
Regarding the payment of farmers by the GMB, the union emphasizes that timely payments are crucial, especially since some farmers have yet to receive theirs.
And the minister is also engaging with the Ministry of Finance to ensure that all the farmers who delivered their wheat last season get paid, because they need to use that money to prepare for the coming season.
All is in place for the winter season. With the measures that the government is putting in place ahead of the season, they expect nothing less than a bumper winter wheat harvest. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I'm Faith Nyawade in Harare.
And now, to get a better understanding from farmers preparing for the season, we are joined live by ADA Board Chairperson Ivan Craig. Good evening, Craig. It's good to have you here on Newsplus. Now, Craig, winter wheat season is about to start. What is expected from the farmer at this point in time?
Yeah, looking at these rains, it's also an advantage to the wheat farmers. You find that the ground is now soft, but first I want to urge farmers not to work on wetlands when there's still a lot of moisture in the soil, otherwise that would destroy the soil structure. So once the moisture content is at the right level, this is a big advantage to the farmers when it comes to preparations for the summer, for the winter wheat. You know, it's softer, and you use less fuel, less wear and tear, less oil, and no breakages on the implements. So really it's an advantage when it comes to preparedness, and that will also save them on water and electricity, because you need to plant your wheat when the field is at field capacity, and now you find the soils are at field capacity already, so it's a case of preparing, go in and plant, and that should actually save them a lot of money in terms of profit at the end of the day. And also we are approaching the time to plant our wheat. Those who are planting low season varieties, this is the right time to do so. Some have already planted, but you are saying by end of April to third week of May, that's the window which we should use to plant our wheat, so that we maximize on the quality and the yield at the end of the day. So I hope all wheat farmers are ready to plant their wheat, because this is the time.
And Ivan, we've seen that most parts of the country have been receiving rainfall in the past 24 hours, and the weatherman has also predicted that more rains will be coming. Is this good news for the farmer overall?
Yes, the current rains which we are receiving are quite welcome, and we thank God for the rains, because if you look at Zimbabwe, the southern part got more water, that even the dams spilled, the rivers are flowing, the water table raised, but the northern part we didn't get that much. So we still need that water in the dams, and to raise our water tables to do, you know, with the winter wheat, as well as looking at the pastures. So really, they are welcome. We still need the rains. On the positive part, on the groundnuts, the ground will become soft, such that, you know, it will be easy to pull the nuts out of the ground, and the bambara nuts as well, without leaving any or much in the ground.
Now, considering that it is harvesting period for the summer crop, is this prediction of anticipated continuous rainfall something of actual great concern?
Yeah, if you look at some crops in the field as we speak, there is maize which has dried up. So if we continuously have these rains here, you find that they'll have an effect to the maize. That is, if they continuously rain and it remains overcast and humid and also hot, you find that develop some diseases in our maize, such that the quality will go down and subsequently the yield at the end of the day. So it will have a negative impact on our strategic grain reserve as well as the retain to the farmer, because naturally the yield have gone down. On soybeans, that is on maize, on soybeans you find our soybeans might also be affected. That which has reached the physiological maturity, it will get soaked and then it will start sprouting. Basically, you find that on the small grains, your finger millet and your pure millet, just because the heads are compact, you find that the water will be absorbed, and if it continues, they will start sprouting as well. So there will be a big loss. So we just pray that these rains have come, and they've come for a shorter period, and then it's going to be followed by dry wind, which is going to blow all the moisture out and leaving the grain to dry, and that will save our crop. And we've done it before, and we are not expecting anything serious out of this. We are praying and hope that everything will remain normal.
Thank you very much, Ivan, and happy holidays to you. That was Ivan Craig, also known as Mudumeni Mukuru in the farming sector. He was just talking about how farmers are coping with the current heavy rains. Now, in another story, on Wednesday, the SADC Military Health Working Group toured Geopomona's site, and that's a waste management facility in Harare. The delegation is exploring ways in which they can deal with waste management challenges in their respective countries.
In a world where minimizing waste has become increasingly important, efficient waste management systems that support environmentally friendly practices have become crucial. The waste dumping facility located near the Pomona barracks plays a critical role in waste management in the country. However, if poorly managed, it could have adverse effects on the service members and the surrounding community. Touring the Geopomona facility, one of the military health group generals, Dr. Mutese, applauded the strides made so far.
We have Pomona barracks close by, and at that time when I was the director of health services, the reports that I was getting about air pollution were very bad, with a lot of our members suffering from chest infections, allergies and so forth. So with their coming on board, we can see that there is going to be a complete turnaround in terms of waste management.
This plant has various machines that are critical for processing waste disposed of at the facility. Waste is broken down and distributed to sorting platforms where different teams facilitate efficient separation of recyclable and disposable waste. The group was impressed by the role Pomona is playing in promoting modern waste management.
Really, to say this is very good. This is a very, very good project, and like I said, I've never seen this thing anywhere else.
Various countries in the bloc have taken interest in the project, and the Chief Executive Officer Delish Nguwaya says they are exploring ways to expand locally and beyond.
So far, with countries like Lesotho who are interested to start working with us for the issue of waste management. We've also countries like Botswana, Madagascar, and also have our local authorities. We are still in stages where we are still negotiating how to make sure this project will succeed.
This dump site not only provides relief to the people of Harare, but also provides better resource optimization and enhances health and safety. For ZTN Prime, I am Gwazisita Chisiwe in Harare.
Now, from that story on waste management, we now cross over to look at another story on how space is being managed in Mbare. The commissioning of the new Mbare Musika market brought hope for many vendors who were left stranded after a fire incident razed the old market in October last year. However, some feel there are still concerns that need to be addressed. ZTN Prime's Francisca Msheche was in Mbare earlier today for a progress check.
Meet 85-year-old Constance Moyo, one of the beneficiaries of the Nyumbari Musika Hub. This trade has been her lifeline since the 1970s, with vending being her primary source of income.
Dine mombi, dine mbuzi, dine imba kumusha, dine imba muno, dine tebu muno.
However, Gogo Moyo expressed her uncertainty about the new location, echoing concerns shared by many of her peers who lost goods in last year's fire at the old Mbari market. The new market is set to accommodate over 1,000 vendors, but some say it's inadequate space for operations compared to the previous market.
Nevazukuru vedu ezvinesitachembera ndonotsvaga kupi kwekushanda kuti ndiwane mari yemapiritsi ndandichitengesa tengesawo pamusika ipapapa ezvino inini ningi meseji yakasvika musi wemande kubva mande ndiri kurara pano chabuda hapana marisitsi acho hatina kupuwa mafomu acho hatina kupuwa tiri kunzi musika wazara saka isi toindepi.
Some wished they could go back to the old Mbari Musika where there was enough space.
Nasi musika watsva tonzi tibudemo vada kumboitini musika wedu musika ndewedu kwasikana ari mashedhi vasa mashedhi avo tiripo ezi zvakambeta pekutanga right nezvi vavaka kuno kuku vakuti selecta futi tisu varidzi vemusika umu tisi tine nhaka yemusika umu toendepi isi toda musika wedu uya tine nawoyo.
The issue of rental charges still remains a concern to many vendors. The rentals have been pegged at $30 per week, contrary to the $50 per week that was speculated before. However, vendors pleaded with the city fathers to further review the charges downwards. They even called for government intervention.
Mari yakatiremera iyoyo zvekuti kutochema-chema kudai anga tidzikiswe iwo timbotanga tabooster tikaboostawo toona kuti ndopa zvinge zvaananiwo vakazotaurawo kumberi kuti takabooster aiwa zvinge zviri nani so fa yakatiremera.
Speaking at the official opening of the new hub recently, Harare City Council Mayor Jacob Mafome has assured vendors that they are constructing another hub to accommodate 10,000 vendors in Mbare.
Akainini nekanzuro yeHarare nevanotishandira seHarare takavimbisa kuti tichange tichivaka phase 2 chava musha wakavirikidzana musha unenge wakareba kudarika meya wawo handitika.
The commissioning of the new Mbari Market Hub marked a significant milestone to vendors. However, inadequate space and high rental fees remain a significant challenge to the vendors. For ZTN Prime, I am Francisca Msheche in Harare.
Cycling champions Vusumuzi Nkandla and Thando Chuma are set to make a triumphant return to Bulawayo after conquering 11 countries on 2 wheels. The dynamic duo has been on an incredible journey, pedaling their way through various nations and earning accolades along the way. And after a well-deserved rest in Dabaziduna, they will embark on the final stretch of their journey, riding into Bulawayo on a Saturday at 7 a.m. To celebrate their remarkable achievement, an epic welcome party has been organized at Kamandazi on Saturday. The party will be a fitting tribute to Nkandla and Chuma's dedication, perseverance, and passion for cycling, and is expected to draw large crowds eager to celebrate and congratulate these champions in person.
Thank you, Midlands. Thank you, Kutu. Thank you, Mashonaland. West, North, East, thank you so much. Now we are entering Matara North Province, guys. Bulawayo, are you really ready for us? Are you really ready, guys? If yes, let's meet in Bulawayo, 19 April on Saturday, Kamandazi, right? Right, guys? Let's go. Let's do Kamandazi, guys.
We now give you our crime and courts update in the following report.
4 Harare City Council municipal officers have been charged with criminal abuse of duty and extortion after they went around Gulf Complex demanding $20 from each shop owner, threatening to close shops if the money was not paid. Give Mokarodza, Patricia Marikanda, Angeline Karimazondo, and Blessing Makuya are alleged to have been deployed at Gulf Complex Shopping Mall to enforce council bylaws. Their duty was to give tickets to those who were not compliant, and payment was supposed to be made at City of Harare cash points. Instead, the 4 allegedly collected the money for personal use. They were each granted 100 United States dollars bail and would return to court on 29 May. Moving on, 4 squatters in Greendale who stole Zesa cables valued at $1,200 have been charged with contravening Section 60 of the Electricity Act. The 4 are said to have proceeded to Zesa substation in Greendale, Harare, and cut the core signal pilot cables meant for transmitting signal. The state was opposed to bail, citing that they will not stand trial if given bail because they are of no fixed abode. They will return to court on 25 April for bail application. Still at the courts, a Bodiro man has been charged with rape after he allegedly raped his 23-year-old niece. Circumstances are that the complainant had been visiting the accused person when the accused raped her. He is alleged to have shown her a graphic video and ordered the complainant to perform the act on him, who turned down the request. He allegedly raped her. Bail issues did not arise since the accused was coming from home and will return to court on 29 May. For ZTN Prime, I'm Kimberly Chimbalanga in Harare.
Now when Newsplus returns, we will give you updates from the world around us.
Finally here, the 2025 Independence Music Fiesta. Don't miss this exciting spectacle live on ZBC and ZTN Prime as Gokwe Nempudzia hosts an entire nation and music stars this Friday. Andy Murizo, Sulumani Chimbetu, Zo 7, Jaw Signal, and Mark Ngwazi will lead this lineup of superstars. Others include Peter Moyo, DT Bayo Mdimba, Tendai Dembo, Agatha Mruzwa, Simon Mutambi, Chief Uwenje, Sandra Nebele, and Mai Patai. Our hosts on the night are the highly entertaining pair of Kanyemba Bonzo and Philip Makaju and the ever-popular Season Ndulu and Tabani Gabiza. From 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., Agoko will be the heartbeat of Zimbabwe. Come along, don't miss the fun and excitement. Be part of a night to remember.
Now, taking a look at what's happening globally, we begin in South Africa, where a 13-year-old grade 7 pupil took her own life after allegedly being bullied at Vulindlela Primary School in Harrismith, Free State. Her mother found a note detailing the reasons behind her daughter's extreme decision, and it is alleged the pupil was repeatedly bullied by a classmate who accused her of cheating during a class test. Free State Education Department spokesperson Howard Ndaba said the pupil had expressed fear of her classmates who assaulted and bullied her the previous term and had requested to be transferred to another school. Ndaba said the department takes bullying incidents seriously and is committed to creating a safe and supportive learning environment for pupils. The department recognizes this severe consequence of bullying on pupils' well-being and mental health and urged parents, pupils, and the community to work together in creating a safe and supportive learning environment. Now, in another story, the Red Sea state in eastern Sudan was once among the regions with the highest concentration of internally displaced people, having hosted over 200,000 people at its peak. And in March this year, the Red Sea state government, in collaboration with several non-governmental organizations, launched a program to facilitate the voluntary return of displaced individuals who had fled to eastern Sudan due to the ongoing conflict.
وانا والله حقيقه يمكن طلعت يعني قبل 7-8 اشهر ورجعنا كان في معاناه شديده والحمد لله حس الليله البرنامج بتاعت المبادره دي بتدي احساس جميل بتدي احساس سمح انه ذو راجع بعد فتره طويل وراجع للاهل وكده ونتمنى انه يعني نصل البلد ونجدها على ما يرام ان شاء الله.
According to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, approximately 90% of schools in Sudan have closed and 17 million students have been forced to drop out due to the ongoing armed conflict. Nevertheless, some educators have chosen to remain and continue teaching subjects such as Arabic and mathematics to children of various ages.
لكن نحن مصرين على إنه التعليم رغم الظرف الصعب التعليم يتواصل. فتحنا المدارس فتحت هي.
Now, from Africa to America, several small businesses have filed a lawsuit against the government in the U.S. Court of International Trade, arguing that the presidential administration lacks the authority to impose broad tariffs without congressional approval. And according to reports, the litigation was initiated by the Liberty Justice Center, a non-profit, non-partisan litigation organization, on behalf of 5 small U.S. firms. They are seeking to block the government's tariff measures under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Meanwhile, Canadian business leaders say they are pivoting towards China and the Indo-Pacific region as they look to diversify their markets in the wake of the U.S. tariffs, which have disrupted global trade. And a number of Canadian firms are attending the ongoing 5th China International Consumer Products Expo in China's Hainan province, which is gathering over 4,100 brands from 71 countries and regions. Many of those who are showcasing their products at the expo say they are now reassessing their global business strategies, given the uncertainty brought by U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping tariff measures.
We were planning on introducing our products in the U.S., but we've stopped, and that's why now, because of the tariff talk, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for Canada and China to now start growing together.
Because of this tariff, our Canadian government is looking into diversification and diversifying the economy, diversifying the businesses, and they are looking into China, the Indo-Pacific region. Very recently, I've been a part of the trade missions into the different Indo-Pacific regions and now into China, and I think the partnerships, the collaborations, and the business opportunities for Canadians with Chinese businesses is going to grow.
Still on stories from America, Blue Origin, the aerospace company owned by Jeff Bezos in America, launched an all-female crew of 6 into space that included journalist Gayle King, former NASA scientist Aisha Bowe, and singer Katy Perry, who plans to write a song about this experience. This historic Blue Origin space mission marked the company's 11th crewed flight. And notably, women make up only about 15% of the over 700 people who have traveled to space.
I got you, Flynn.
Gotcha.
Oh my
gosh.
That's amazing.
There comes the rocket down. It's going to relight its engine.
I have almost no words. It was the most incredible experience of my life.
I feel super connected to love. You never know how much love is inside of you.
I will never be the same. And there's no boundaries, there's no border, there's just Earth.
Now that I've done it, I really do feel I can take on anything.
No dream is too wild. If it's going to space, you can absolutely make it through.
We will be back with updates on what's happening on the economic landscape.
It's an experience and a half.
What are we looking at?
Thank you guys for joining us for this unforgettable night.
Paw Patrol is on a roll.
It's Max Verstappen in the lead. The megastar is here.
Absolutely sensational.
Let's go!
It was such a success, the rest is history. Get unbelievable entertainment that is unbelievably easy to own. Get and stay connected to DSTV.
It's finally here, the 2025 Independence Music Fiesta. Don't miss this exciting spectacle live on ZBC and ZTM Prime as Gokwe Nempudzia hosts an entire nation and music stars this Friday. Andy Murizo, Sulumani Chimbetu, Zo 7, Jar Signal, and Mark Ngwazi will lead this lineup of superstars. Others include Peter Moyo, Ditibayo Mdimba, Tendai Dembo, Agatha Mruzwa, Simon Mutambi, Chief Wenje, Sandra Nebele, and Mai Patai. Our hosts on the night are the highly entertaining pair of Kanyemba Bonzo and Philip Makaju, and the ever-popular Season Ndulu and Tabani Gabiza. From 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., Agoko will be the heartbeat of Zimbabwe. Come along, don't miss the fun and excitement. Be part of a night to remember.
In our first business story, Stewart Bank Limited has applied to the Registrar of Companies to change its name to TN Cybertech Bank Limited, signaling a potential strategic shift in Zimbabwe's banking sector. A public notice issued last week states that the bank is seeking approval for the change within 14 days, as required by the Companies and Other Business Entities Act. We spoke to an economic analyst, Malone Gwadu, and he had this to say.
Good evening. So I think this is a new approach by the new shareholder, or maybe not new per se, but the new entry shareholder who is now injecting his vision and his fresh ideas into the Stewart Bank, now TN Cybertech Bank, and he has anchored this vision on cybertech and cyber-related products. So in my view, I would submit that it's an infusion of new vision, but probably too early to do so, given that this has been a person who has been in the system before and has left and now come back with maybe not so new vision, but we wait to see what will this reflect in the profits and in the performance indicators of the particular bank.
Right. What impact do the changes that we've seen taking place have on this?
Now, moving on to what's happening in the tobacco industry. This week, 5 people were arrested at TSF auction floors for allegedly engaging in illegal activities, undermining fair market practices, and exploiting vulnerable tobacco farmers. Surveillance patrols by the Tobacco Industry and Marketing Board, TIMB, Inspectorate Unit unearthed the corrupt activities. And during routine surveillance patrols, the unit intercepted 2 separate corruption rackets within 48 hours. Now, South African municipalities were allocated 44.1 billion rand in direct conditional grants for the 2024 fiscal year, but only spent 12.8 billion rand, or 21.1%. Municipalities have long struggled to spend their conditional grants, often forcing unspent funds to be returned to the National Treasury. Now, this was highlighted by a panel during a National Treasury webinar on Tuesday called From Your Pocket to Public Services, Tracking Municipal Budgets. Conditional grants are funds allocated by the national government to municipalities to be used by particular services or projects such as infrastructure development, roads, water sanitation, housing, electrification, and public transport upgrades. And still on business, the June gold futures price on the New York Mercantile Exchange surged by 3.27% on Wednesday from the previous trading day, once again setting a new historical closing high. And as of the market close, the gold futures rose to $3,346.4 per troy ounce. According to some analysts, investors sought shelter by buying gold as a safe haven asset following a speech made by U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell earlier on Wednesday. Powell warned that the administration's tariff hikes are likely to cause a short-term rise in inflation, while supply chain disruptions could lead to more persistent pressure. Up next is entertainment.
And unoona kana zvinhu zvakadayoka zvobva zvatinewe fofa kudayo izvozvo final demand yandatumirwa nesitokadzo hanzi ndibhadhare chikwereti ndozvifambisa sei ndine urwere
wakachera iri yefinal demand unofanira kutobhadhara imba inotorwa
ndozvifambisa sei izvezvi kubhengi kunenge uchida unomirwa line pedzezvo kanzuru kuda umirwa line apa ndine urwere ndoita sei
era kutsvuka bedzi asi wakasara kudai auzizive kuti akuchina zveya zvokunzi kwai kunomirirwa kuenda kumahofisi kuti unobhadhara kanzu kanzu yekuti unobhadhara izvozvo nemaplatforms akawanda ari paya through pay now unogona kubhadhara neeco cash, one money, FBC online, CBZ touch, kana kuti unogona kuita iri bank transfer caps account yavo number dakutoiziva nomusoro ndiyo yandoshandisa every month iyi caps 10036552211 wapedza kudaro wakutoita kuindisa proof of payment paemail pa rtgs@hararicity.co.zw zvoga izvo wakagara ipapo pauri ipapo kumba kwako unogona kutongobhadhara kanzu hazvichamiri kwa unoenda kumaofisi
chibva watouya ubva watondiitira
utongobhadhara online
zvichiri zvokubhadhara chikwereti kubva wati neni kwati
The Pacific Bulawayo shutdown gig has been moved to the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, ZITF, main arena, organizers have announced. The decision was made to avoid further conflict with the city of Bulawayo and Zimbabwe Cricket. The event was initially penciled for Queen's Sports Club. However, this faced strong opposition from Bulawayo Mayor Councillor David Coulthard, who argued that it would jeopardize preparations for Zimbabwe's upcoming international test cricket fixtures. And in a press statement, the Queen's Sports Club Board of Management said that under the current lease agreement with Zimbabwe Cricket, the club retains the right to host social events and activities at the venue. However, Harris Entertainment, the organizers of the event, have announced the venue change, effectively ending any potential further disputes. And still on entertainment, Sungura musician Nicholas Madzibaba Zakaria, who is battling diabetes and hypertension, received a major boost after being gifted with medication by former Health and Childcare Minister Dr. Obadiah Moyo. The former minister also organized a team of doctors to assist the Kiyama Boys frontman free of charge whenever he requires medical attention. And Dr. Moyo was accompanied by Dr. Shongo from Chitungwiza Central Hospital and Chitungwiza ZANU-PF Central Committee member Comrade Goodwill Mafuratidze when he handed over the medicines. The gesture comes after the singer's wife, Margaret Gweshe, appealed for help to assist her ailing husband. And that's all we had for you on entertainment. Up next, we give you updates on sport.
It's finally here, the 2025 Independence Music Fiesta. Don't miss this exciting spectacle live on ZBC and ZTM Prime as Gokwe Nempudzia hosts an entire nation and music stars this Friday. Andy Murizo, Sulumani Chimbetu, Zo 7, Jar Signal, and Mark Ngwazi will lead this lineup of superstars. Others include Peter Moyo, DT Bayo Mdimba, Tendai Dembo, Agatha Mruzgwa, Simon Mutambi, Chief Wenja.
FC Platinum coach Norman Mapeza says that his team is honored to take part in the Independence Cup final against Simbabora on Friday. The two teams will light up Gokwe Nembudzia in the final as the nation commemorates 45 years of independence.
It's not much about the game. I think it's much to do with us celebrating our Independence Day. Of course, the game of football will be played, but I think what is very, very important is for us to celebrate our Independence Day. I think each and every family in the country, we lost our beloved ones because they went to war. So it's a very important day for us, and I think our efforts also, we have been rewarded because of what we did last season, because I understand it was just number one and number two, which were chosen to play in this Independence Cup final. So I think it's our efforts.
PSL New Boys Moors FC head into match day 7 on top of the log standings after an impressive start to the season. A key figure in their strong start has been experienced defender Innocent Zambezi, one of the club's major off-season signings. We get more in the following report.
Fearless in possession and adventurous in attack, Moors FC have made a barnstorming start to their debut season in the PSL. While their creativity has grabbed headlines, their uncompromising defense has laid the foundation for their early success. The Panthers currently boast the joint best defensive record in the league, conceding just 1 goal in 6 matches. Lloyd Mtasa's trusted back three of Innocent Zambezi, Tafazwa Nyabunze and Valentine Katsande have been solid, with the trio playing every single minute so far this season. Former Cape United defender Zambezi believes that there's a simple recipe behind their cohesion.
No matter how experienced you are, a new game is a new game. So you'll be facing new challenges. In this team, I've got a responsibility that I have to take. So it's a challenge for me because also I have to talk to my guys, I have to communicate, I have to perform also. Understand? So I can say it's a new challenge. It's a good new challenge.
Last season, Zambezi was tasked with a disciplined defensive role, but at Moors, he's enjoying the freedom to roam forward.
I just want to thank my coach, Lloyd Mtasa, for this opportunity that he gave me on this team. And to me, he's been a great coach just because he gave me a free role to play. I feel comfortable sometimes. He gives me the authority to run my space. So when the coach gives you an opportunity to express yourself, obviously you can express it. Well, the sky is the limit.
The harmony in the team has also played a key role, with the seniors happy to guide and the youngsters playing without fear.
As for now, the most important thing that I'm acknowledging from the team is we understand each other and they accept the seniority thing. You understand? So when you're giving a message to someone, you take it as you say it. You understand? At the same time, what you call good blood flows the same way. You give it, it comes back also. I think that's basically it about.
For Zambezi, Moors arrived at just the right time and offered him a new challenge at this stage of his career.
The acceptance of my coach, that's the first thing. He needed me, he told me straight, we need your experience. So at times, you need to change. I've been at Caps for 2 years, understand? So sometimes you need to venture into new things and you see how things goes. Football is like a circle. You move there, you come back, you go there, you come back.
The Panthers will open the doors of the Ngoni Stadium to top-flight football on Easter Monday against Dynamos on match day 7. And it now remains to be seen if the sight of a familiar foe and home comforts will motivate Zambezi and company to keep their hot streak alive. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I'm Tinashe Mkono.
Dynamos head coach Lloyd Chigove says they are working around the clock to return to winning ways as they've lost their last 2 games. The side travelled to Ngoni Stadium in Norton, where they go up against log leaders Moors, who have kept 5 clean sheets in their opening 6 encounters, whilst Dynamos have only scored twice in their opening 6 games of the season.
We believe there's a turning point in every football team's fortunes. We also respect Moors very much for having done a good job, and also they've got an experienced technical team, but we intend to rise to the occasion and fight for the multitude of our fans. We continuously work on the field of play, and we try different combinations and give also other players.
Zimbabwe's preparations for the upcoming test series against Bangladesh resumed with the spirited training session in Sylhet on Thursday, despite intermittent rain that delayed the start and forced an early end to the day's activities. The squad, which arrived in Bangladesh earlier this week, gathered for their first practice at the International Cricket Stadium, showcasing energy and focus during warm-ups and fielding drills before rain returned midway through the net session. Only 4 members of the touring party, Captain Craig Irvin, Sean Williams, Wellington Masakadza and Victor Nyauchi, have previously played Test cricket in Bangladesh. For the rest, the series offers a fresh challenge and valuable learning opportunity. Now, from cricket, the Zimbabwe senior men's rugby team is set to host Zambia in the Battle of the Zambezi on the 4th of May this year. And that concludes our sports stories. And that is a wrap on our bulletin tonight. I'm Wadzanai Santole. Happy holidays to you.